What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and this is for my ladies. This is my podcast where amazing things happen and we get to talk, discuss, and celebrate real women of color. This is for my ladies, it's just for you. This podcast is a place where I get to highlight not only my life dreams and goals, but yours too. I believe I was called to create a platform for myself to express not only my thoughts, but those of other women that's unfiltered and untamed. I plan to talk and discuss topics that interest me and other women. I want my audience to be engaged and aware. So any topics, email them to me at tishadediva@gmail.com. What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and y'all already know what time it is. This is for my ladies. I am back with my 34th episode of This Is For My Ladies podcast, which is streaming on all platforms. It is on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. It's on 10 platforms. So if you Google Tisha, T-I-C-I-A, the Diva, which you can see the name down below, you can Google me, baby, and I will pop up. So make sure you all support, subscribe, like, comment, leave a review, all of that good stuff so that I know who's out there, who's listening, and also so we can engage more as far as what do you all want to talk about, what it is, that you want to discuss, different topics or anything like that of that nature. So, again, make sure you listen, subscribe, like, share, review, share it with your family, share it with your friends. This is for my ladies. Make sure you are letting other women know that there is a podcast that they can listen to that talks about things that women go through and basically, how to get your shit together. But which I'm still trying to get my shit together, but basically it's all encouragement, it's all about support, it's all about motivation. This episode, This Is For My Ladies episode, I basically got a word this early, very, very early this morning at about 2:48 this morning. Let me see, because I wrote it down. 2:38 this morning. And basically what came to me is Affirm Your Power. And how I came up with affirming, how to affirm your power or affirming your power. Just yesterday, the world lost, the Black culture lost a community leader and a community advocate and rapper, Nipsey Hussle. Now, some people do not know who Nipsey Hussle is, but Nipsey Hussle is a LA-based rapper, community leader, community advocate who believed in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, building his community, buying up the block, and basically giving back, building wealth and giving back, but building wealth within his community. He owned barbershops, he owned restaurants, he gave away sneakers to every elementary student at a school from in his neighborhood where he grew up. And he was very, very, very important to a lot of people within his community. And he was very important to a lot of people in the industry just because of what he believed in and what he stood for. He is the husband to Lauren London, and that's how a lot of people know who Nipsey Hussle is because of who his spouse is, or I guess was. But anyway, yeah, so affirming your power, it came to me, and if you don't know what affirm means, affirm is to state as fact, assert strongly and publicly. Some synonyms are to declare, state, assert, proclaim, promise, pledge. And the second definition is to offer someone emotional support or encouragement. And when you affirm your power, which Nipsey Hussle was doing, basically he was going back into his community and building it up. And why he did that was he saw things within his community, like I talked about on my last podcast, Living Your Dreams, and the PSA, a call to citizenship. A call to citizenship. He saw that there was a problem, and he knew that there needed to be a solution. There were issues, and he took it on him. He took those burdens of other people within his community, and he carried those burdens to uplift his community so that people could have jobs. When he took ownership of those businesses within his community, he gave jobs back to those people. That's how you buy up the block. Now, we go to all these different businesses and we spend our dollars with people that don't look like us, that take our money, but they watching you and following you around in the store and do not give you any respect. So he saw that there was a need for, business capital, Black business capital at that. And he affirmed his power. He affirmed his power by declaring and pledging, like, this is who I am, and this is what I'm about, and this is what I do. And it's very important, and it's important even for you to affirm your power. And how do you affirm your power? Yesterday was just in the whole social media world. It was sick. It was so sick. I saw a lot of very, very insensitive posts about how people was just like, who cares that he died, and fuck that he died because he was homophobic, or even wishing death on other people. And it's just like, to be perfectly honest, just some of the stuff that I even seen from people who I even considered to be friends, it's like, I'm really looking at you real different now. It's because, how dare you even feel that somebody, should die or anything because of something that doesn't even apply to you? Like, if it don't apply, let it fly. That whole thing. People always trying to take something and make it apply to them. Like, no, that don't even have nothing to do with you or anything or whatever. We just have to make sure that we show respect. Showing respect is how you affirm your power. Like, you pledging for respect. Like, that's, I could go on for days about that. But again, like we said, I ain't really trying to ruffle no feathers. But if your feathers ruffle, oh well. It's like we always trying to make something about ourselves when it's really, really not. And I know, as for me, which I am about to make this about myself, what Nipsey Hussle did as far as being, a community leader and a community advocate is the very same thing that I am doing as far as in my community. And I know I had seen a post where somebody was like, people are being so, very dramatic about, somebody that they didn't even know. And that's just like with me. I didn't know Gregory Bateman Jr. Like, I did not know him, never met him a day in my life, but that did not stop me from being a human and being sympathetic and being very empathetic, and then seeing that there's a problem, me affirming my power, there's a problem, and there needs to be a solution, and me standing up and saying, hey, we need a traffic light right here. Not only do we need a traffic light, we need other things. That's how you affirm your power. That's how I pledge my power. I took a pledge and I said, you know what? I'm going to be the one that stand up, and I'm going to do this not only for this little boy that lost his life, but the whole community, period. Like, yeah, a traffic light is interrupting people's lives. However, we don't have to worry about somebody trying to cross the street, especially a child trying to cross the street and not returning home because they were hit and killed. So when you affirm your power, Affirming your power is all about you knowing who you are and the betterment of yourself and the betterment of your community. Like the betterment of yourself is like basically you bringing about change all around you. People just feel like, oh, that's not my problem or that's not my issue and all of that stuff or whatever. Some people are messed up individuals if you out here looking at things and you don't even offer any sort of help or anything. We have so many resources, and some people are the actual resource and don't even intervene. And that's why, and to me personally, that's why I feel like a lot of people aren't blessed, because they have the resources and the tools to embark change in somebody's life, and they don't. And one of the things that Nipsey Hussle believed in is basically how energy is transferable, and the energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. So you also have to understand the things that you say to people or about people, how you wish they were dead and all of that stuff or whatever. That's you putting other energy out that's gonna come back to you. And who wants that? And y'all already know, like, we seen plenty of memes about how karma may not come back to you, but it probably come back in your children or your family and all of that stuff. So do not be shocked and surprised when things around you start happening to people that you love because of what you did or what you said. Like, that stuff is so real. It is so real. And I had seen something, about, Nipsey Hussle, and, he was homophobic and all of that stuff or whatever. And this is just talking about the homosexual and the gay community and all of that stuff or whatever. I'm a female, and there's a lot of things that we as females go through, and we are not as bothered. To me, I feel like some homosexuals and gays are very sensitive, and we're the females, and we supposed to be the most sensitive people. But some gays can be extremely, extremely sensitive. And at the end of the day, I don't care what you identify as, you're still a man, and there's some things that you just have, ways that you still have to conduct yourself as a man, period. And I don't care what you feel about it, like anybody. Really, I don't care what anybody feel about it, because it's the truth. And even still, it's just like, I know I was, basically it was a conversation on somebody's post about basically, Nipsey Hussle being homophobic, and they don't even give a damn that he died or about to die and all of that stuff or whatever, just because how he felt about gays. But my whole thing is the depiction of homosexuals, as far as for Black people, how they, and I was having a conversation with Mike from the Locker Room podcast, and he was basically saying how white gays are depicted very different from how Black gays are depicted in the media. And I believe that to be so true. How the media portrays Black men, Black gays, and white gays. The white gays are, when they portray them, they might be the more masculine gay man, or it might be the millionaire real estate white gay man. But when they depict us, our color, our Black men as gay, they all flamboyant and yes and and all of this, the the shits, the giggles, and the razzle and the dazzle. And that's not how all gay men are. Gay Black men. Why is it that all Black gay men gotta be considered flamboyant or over the top, or the faggots or the sissies and all of that stuff? Because that's what the media is portraying. That's how they portray gay Black men. It's never just a gay Black man in a suit and tie or anything. No, it's a gay Black man with a pocketbook on his arm, with a little bend in his wrist and some heels and colored hair and fingernails and all of that stuff, when that's not how all gay Black men are. And that's the whole thing, how, basically what I was, getting at as far as with my opinion. And even as a woman seeing that, I know I have some gay black men that gay black male friends who, even when they see all that extra stuff, even that's too much for them, because they still understand that they are a man. That they're a man. Now, I get it. Some gay men are just, feminine, but why are you more feminine than a woman? That's what I don't get. Why are you way more feminine than I am? That part just don't make sense to me, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I had to touch on that and talk about that because even as a female, as a single black female, sometimes some of the things that I see how the media portrays my black man, my black gay man, is over the top. And sometimes I don't want to see the shit. And I can feel that way. But anyway, back to affirm your power. And that was me affirming my power, because that's how I feel. It's just like something like, be who you are. Yes, be who you are. But sometimes you still have to understand that you still a man. And, a woman is whatever. I don't care what you like to dress like or how you talk and all of that stuff. Still recognize that you're a man and what you have between your legs. But that's neither here nor there. So affirm your power, state it as a fact. Yeah, I guess people be gay and proud and black and proud and all that stuff. That's still affirming your power. But as far as back to Nipsey Hussle and everything, that he stood for as far as in the community and all of that stuff, and people saying that, the government killed him off and all of that stuff. Now, this is how I feel. Now, yes, he was about to make the documentary about, Dr. Sebi. And if you don't know who Dr. Sebi is, he is the African, well, I'm not even going to say African-American, because I think he's Honduran, from Honduras or something. But he basically is the man that had the cure for AIDS and HIV and herpes and sickle cell anemia and all of that different stuff or whatever. He has different supplements and diets and different stuff that people can take to basically, cure cancer too, but can reverse all of that stuff. All of that stuff pretty much that we eat and that we intake and consume that is cancerous to our people, blacks and all that stuff or whatever. He basically found a cure. And, Nipsey Hussle was doing putting together a documentary about Dr. Sebi. He was talking about, he was doing a trial where he had went to, I think it was like a federal trial or something, and it was two of them. Like, he went like within days of each other, and he won. And he was going to do a documentary about that. So a lot of people feel that the government killed them off. And it's so easy for people to say that the government killed anybody, because, of course, we have like the Martin Luther King and the who else? Malcolm X and all that stuff or whatever. They were assassinated, and then to later find out that, it was a hit, from the government and all of that stuff or whatever. But I don't know how I feel about that, because at the end of the day, this man I don't know if he was still gang banging or got out or whatever, but Nipsey Hussle was a Crip. And these people don't care about if he was trying to fix the community and all of that stuff or whatever, so pretty much the media said that it was gang related, that the killing was gang related, and it could very well be. Like, people didn't care that Tupac was Tupac, and people didn't care that Biggie was Biggie. If they have an assignment and they have, a task to complete, they're gonna do that. But I was listening to Charlemagne, and he was saying that the government killed him off and all of that stuff because it's very insensitive. And I do believe that it is insensitive because, like he was saying, his family and his friends have to get on social media every day and read stories about how he was killed and, forget his life and all of that stuff. I mean, it's sick. It's just so sick. And social media has made things like nothing is personal. Like Lauren London can't even grieve, mourn, in peace or in silence because everybody, and I get it, everybody, offering their condolences and all of that stuff or whatever, but all the things that when she do come back and she has to read and face and all of that stuff, it's gonna bother her for the rest of her life. Like, it really, really is. And some people, I get it, some people didn't even know who Nipsey Hussle was, but people like to jump on a bandwagon and oh yeah, and he was so much to this and so much to that. And I'm like, name a Nipsey Hussle song. And people can't. And that's okay because, we're going to remember him for what he did and all that stuff or whatever. So besides, because I can't even name a Nipsey Hussle. But I knew who Nipsey Hussle was. So back in 2015, my favorite ex-boyfriend told me about who Nipsey Hussle was. Shout out to you. But anyway, he was telling me how Nipsey Hussle was selling his album 1,000 copies for $100 and all of that stuff or whatever. And I think he had played like a couple of songs. But me, I'm not up. I really don't care for rap music for real, for real. There's a couple of people that I'll listen to and all that stuff or whatever. But I'm just like, oh, okay. And some people really know who Nipsey Hussle is because he, did I say all that stuff before? I feel like I did, but I don't know. But because of who his wife is, Lauren London, and all of that stuff or whatever. But I pretty much pulled some stuff off of the internet as far as what it was and Nipsey Hussle believed in. And some success tips from Nipsey Hussle. And again, going back to how to affirm your power, because he really strongly believed in affirming your power, is control your time, to use every minute wisely. And I supposed to been starting April 1st, I was supposed to go on like a social media detox where, a lot of the things that I have been consuming and just actually, putting, into my brain, I was just like, I have to cut it out because I am a person who feels everything. When I see things, it's just like, I'm not saying that I get super bothered, but it's just like, I'm like, I can't see that or I can't look at that. So for me to affirm my power, I was like, I need to go on a social media detox. But having a podcast and all of that stuff, I'm just like, well, how am I supposed to do that? But I'm just like, okay, well, create, I have podcast pages, like this is for my ladies podcast on Instagram and, Tisha the Diva Facebook page. And I'm like, those are things that I need to be on and engaging and, building and developing more versus just my personal stuff. And then even cleaning up my personal page. But, back to some of the success tips that Nipsey Hussle, from Nipsey Hussle, to create a plan and attack them. A dream without a plan is a wish. So, last night, during, when I was just writing and I got my word and all of that stuff or whatever, I was talking about my social media detox and what does my social media detox looks like. And it's all about simply creating a list of things to do. The list of things that's on my list is budget, save, pay myself, work out, like stretch, meditate, read, write. There's so many things that I could be doing and applying my time to affirming my power by basically pouring into myself. Pledging that, okay, I am going to save. I am going to go and work out today. And then I had to write down when I'm going to do these things. And I wrote it down. There's things that I have to do every single day. every single day. While I'm wasting time on social media, there's other things that I need to be doing that I'm not doing because I'm procrastinating and wasting time. And that's for me. That's for me. That's not affirming my power when I'm wasting time on social media when there's other things that I need to be doing. Procrastination is a terrible habit that needs to be broken. 3, don't expect from others. Put in your own work. Now, we have this whole thing about who is somebody from the area. It was just like put yourself on. And yeah, put yourself on. Definitely put yourself on, but also understand that nobody is going to do the work for you. You are responsible for your own success. How you affirm your power is putting in the work, noticing what it is that you have to do, realizing what it is that you need to be doing and doing it, putting in that work. If you know that, okay, right now I should be applying for my business license, for my LLC and all that stuff. Ain't nobody gonna do that for you. All you have to do is as simple as going online and researching, or where do I go to file for an LLC? Pull up to the tax office downtown or whatever, and ask the people, ask the professionals and all that stuff. People always going on the. I cannot stand. Like, I get it. I understand when people like, oh, go on Facebook and all that stuff. Hey, do anybody know or whatever. Go online and Google it. Google it yourself. That time that you're waiting for somebody to do it for you, you could have did it and got the task completed already. Affirm your own power. Affirm your power. Next. I should have unlocked my phone for this. But anyway. Why I keep doing that? Don't let your past create your future. Everyone can change. I know back in the day, I used to be a piece of work, y'all. But look at me now. Like, look at me. I decided that there were things, I had some toxic behaviors that I knew I need to change. And I'm going to tell you, and y'all going to feel me on this one. How many times your Facebook memories came up of a status and you was like, what was I going through and who was I talking about? And, it was, I'm serious. Like, there was some posts that come up on my Facebook memories from 10 years ago. And I was just like, I was a disgusting person. It was just like, seriously, I would talk about Muslims and I was so disgusting. Like, how dare I? Like, seriously, that's how I was feeling. Like, who are you? How dare you? Who are you to even say anything like that? And I had to really, really change that, y'all, because I was so negative. I was very, very negative. I would judge people, and that's when I was really, really going to church, y'all. I would judge people like crazy. Like, it was terrible. I was so negative. And once I changed my mind and my understanding and affirmed my power of who I am and what I stand for, I was able to change. So when those little Facebook posts come up and I'm just like, ugh, what is this? I just delete it because I don't want to be reminded of how negative I was and how nasty and disgusting I was to even post that and make that public and actually even put that out in the world, because again, the energy that you put out does come back, and those memories definitely roll around every year. So with that, also, with affirming your power, Nipsey Hussle had 7 money and ownership lessons that that he believed in, and 7 of them were on Hustlenomics. You learn all the secrets to the game on your way up. Most folks want to skip the process. When you skip steps, you miss the lessons. That's even now. I know for me, with this podcast and everything or whatever, it's like, when I first started, I'm like, this is going to be great. people love me, people like me and all that stuff or whatever. And I know like everybody just always like, oh, Tisha, you need to be on TV and all of this stuff or whatever. So I know it ain't gonna be a problem to have people listening to my stuff, but y'all don't. Like, y'all don't. And that's okay, because it's still things that I have to learn. And I have to also learn that who I think are gonna support me and y'all not. Like, who I get my support from is gonna be outside of y'all, and that's absolutely okay with me, and that's fine with me, because it's just fine. I ain't even worried about it. 2, on turn up versus own up. It isn't cool to be in the club spending all of this money or having cars and jewelry, but you don't own any real estate, a fourplex. If the answer is no, you're not a real hustler. So pretty much people talk about all this stuff or whatever and don't own nothing. How is it that you are in the club every single week, almost every day, you at every happy hour or nothing, but you still renting your apartment or renting your car or leasing your car, whatever. But it's just like you don't have anything. So I can get what he's saying. How you out partying and all? What you celebrate? Like they say, what you celebrating? Failure? Like turn up or own up. Some of y'all need to turn down and focus on getting yourself together, affirming your power, affirming your power. You talk about, oh, I want to do this, or I want to be great, or I want to, how? How when you haven't affirmed your power, when you're not even walking in your power to even be these things? Entrepreneurship. That's a big one. The new mindset is we don't want advances. We want equity. We don't want one-off endorsements. We want ownership. What do you own? Like what are you working towards? How are you affirming your power by reaching your goals? Entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. And this man had told me about 7s and 3s. I don't know, and I'll just go real quick. Basically, he was saying how 7s are those people that go work for these companies, find out everything that it is and how they apply it and work towards their goals and their businesses. And the threes pretty much are just those people who are okay with going and working for the man and getting their check and retiring with the company and dying. And I just learned something about, have y'all heard of dead peasants insurance? DPI, have y'all heard of that? I'm talking to y'all. No? So pretty much dead peasants insurance, or it's COLI is corporate or corporation owned legal insurance or something. So pretty much your employer can your employer can take out life insurance on you, and when you die they make money off of you. Dead peasants insurance, like they literally take out a life policy on you. Some of y'all employers have life insurance policies out on you, waiting for you to kick the bucket so they can take the money and don't give your family nothing. But there is a way around it. You can make anybody your beneficiary on that if they do have it. So y'all might want to talk to y'all peoples who y'all work for and ask them, do y'all have anything about like COLI, corporate owned life insurance, or dead peasants insurance and all of that stuff? So because a lot of these companies waiting for y'all to die. If you've been at your company, and Walmart is one of the people who do it. So if you work for Walmart and you've been working there for a couple of years and you plan on retiring, you might want to look into that, because they waiting for you to die. Also, Y'all better get on it. And I learned that from Derek Grace. Make sure y'all, if y'all don't know who Derek Grace is, make sure y'all follow. He is the tatted mentor. He the guy that got all the tattoos on his face and all of that or whatever. But he talk about in-home banking, financial literacy, and all of that stuff. Like, I love Derek Grace, and I want to see about bringing him here. But, you know, these people want money, and I don't really got no money like that. But I'm affirming my power, and I'm pledging that I will have money and all of that stuff. That's how you affirm your power. You pledge it. So, Black capital. Business models are built around our culture currency. They develop the platform, implement structure, and bring us into raise value. Black capital, like point blank period. You want to make sure that Black capital, exactly what Nipsey Hussle was doing. He saw that these businesses are ran by people that don't look like us. Maybe I need to create a business model and how I can go in and buy the building, and now I'm your employer. I'm your boss. Like, that's how you do it. What else? On breaking the chains. On the supply chain from productions to consumptions. People take shots at Jay-Z, but he's the first Black artist to have a vertically integrated business model where he owns the whole chain. Now, Nipsey Hussle had all the rights or royalties to all his music and all that stuff. So whatever the plays and all that stuff, it goes back into him. Jay-Z, come on now. We already know. We ain't even got to talk. We already know what Jay doing. Now, if Jay-Z go out of here, it's about to be World War III. But I just feel like Jay-Z just different. I don't think nobody can touch him. He probably got the government working for him. So, on creating value, which I talked about, I released 1,000 mixtapes and charged $100 for each because I understood the economic principle of scarcity. The profit funded my independent label. Okay. When you break it down, I know a lot of people, definitely on social media with businesses and all of that stuff or whatever, people are basically selling products. They're selling products for $10, $15, $20. And it's like, when you sell 100 products at this much or 1,000 products at that much, that's how you basically become millionaires and all of that stuff or whatever. That's basically how you are creating value. You have a product and you start at a price point and you literally write down, okay, if I sell this many at this much, this is how much I'm going to get. If I sell this many at this much, this is how I'm going to get there. You know, this is basically how you create money, create value. And owning real estate. I own the block. I own the block where I used to hustle from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I hustled, then I rented. Now Dave Gross and me will own in Crenshaw. Buying up the block, y'all. But the thing about it is, I'm only talking to a few people. I ain't gonna even say a little bit of people, but there's only a few people who I am talking to because some of y'all care today. Y'all might care tomorrow, but by the end of this week, for some people, Nipsey who? That's exactly how it's going to be. But you have to understand, outside of all that rap stuff, he was a community leader. If y'all really support and care about Nipsey Hussle like y'all claim and proclaim y'all do, y'all would be at y'all civic league meetings. Y'all would be at your town hall meetings. Y'all would basically be seeing exactly what he did and how y'all can do it. But some of y'all not about to do it. Some of y'all don't really care about what Nipsey Hussle was doing because y'all are going to revert back to your regular ways. Yeah, y'all care right now, but for how long? How long y'all going to care about the death of this man? And people like, oh, we need to do this, and now we need to do this, and we need to do that or whatever. Like, Nipsey Hussle created a legacy for himself, for his family, for his wife, for his community. He left a legacy for them in LA. So the people in LA are going to remember it. But y'all on the East Coast, y'all ain't going to be thinking about this man by Sunday. By Sunday, y'all not going to care. Y'all are not gonna give a damn. And I know y'all not, because even still, I've got a traffic light installed in my city. And people cared for a moment. People really cared for a moment, and people shared and all of that stuff. But now it's back to their regular lives. People don't care about that no more. They don't. I mean, yay, great. They're like, yeah, you got a traffic light up. Okay, woo, woo, woo. But that's it. A life, we have to still understand and remember that a life was taken. A life was lost. And how do we continue to allow their legacy to live? By continuing to do what they told us to do. Nipsey Hussle cared about health and wealth. He cared about building up his community and the block and all that stuff. What are you going to do? How are you going to take his legacy and apply it in your life? How are you going to affirm your power? How are you going to affirm your power? What are you doing to affirm your power now? What is it? How are you affirming your power in your life? Are you dieting? Are you exercising? Are you taking social media detoxes? Are you getting out in your community? Do you care? A lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't, and a lot of y'all not. A lot of y'all have these I don't give a fuck attitudes when you really shouldn't. You should give a fuck. You should. You're not affirming your power when you don't care. How is it that we are as black people and we don't even care about our own? We care for a brief moment and then it's back to the regular scheduled program. It can't be like that. How are you going to change anything? How are you really affirming your power when you don't care? That you're not walking in power when you don't care. And you can't tell me that you are. Like, you just really can't tell me. You not, to me, when you don't care, you not real. You ain't real to me. You fake it. You fake as ever. And affirm your power, y'all. I knew I wasn't going to be before y'all long because I need to go to the gym. That's why I look like this. But we have to understand that it is so important when things happen like this, which is so unfortunate when unfortunate things like this happens, when, you know, a hip hop pioneer or anybody dies within our communities. Is like, how can we change it? How can you affirm your power, and how can you stand up, and how can you change it? Do you want to change it? Are you just okay with things like this happening? And we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. Like, we really shouldn't. We shouldn't, even within our own communities, we shouldn't be okay with spending our money with people that don't look like us. But we talk so much trash about other, black businesses. And this is what I'm trying to understand. Like, yeah, we go to other people and all of that stuff and spend our monies with them and all that stuff, but we don't even try to educate other black people and just be like, hey, listen, I understand that, this is X, Y, and Z, you're doing this, but this is how you should do it. Do y'all even give them feedback? And when you do give them feedback, is it nasty? Is it rude and all of that stuff? Yeah, like, some people are still learning. Some people don't have anybody telling them how to do it. They're still trying to learn. Some people are still trying to learn customer service. Some people don't know customer service. They know that they're good at what they do. They know they have a great skill, but they just don't know customer service. They don't know how to build rapport and all of that stuff or whatever. They just trying. We don't give our own people a chance. We are so quick to write them off. But that's not affirming your power either. As a black person, it's not affirming your power when you don't give your other fellow black sister and black brother a chance. When you just write them off. I ain't dealing with them and all of that stuff. I give people a chance. I'm going to tell you about yourself and still give you a chance. And then after that, then I'm going to write you off. Like, no, I'm good on you. And I'm going to tell you why I'm good on you. We don't do that. We just like, nah. And then we go up there and make Facebook statuses and all this stuff. Why? The same way you can make a Facebook status and read them, that's the same. And that's the same way that you can deliver that to them. Hey, listen. You did this, you were supposed to do this and all this stuff, and just because of this, but that's what reviews are for. You can leave like review, leave a review. Leave a review, but you ain't gotta go all extra and all of this stuff or whatever. And don't ever, don't ever use them or utilize them and all of this stuff or whatever. But then also, black people, business owners, you have to take that feedback. You have to take that criticism and apply it. Like I say all the time, trial and success, not trial and error, because error is like you stopping, you halting. You're not, you don't go further. Like it's wrong, it's done. But with success always continues. Like you see something, okay, yeah, that worked, but how do I make it better? How do I do it better? How do I increase it? Trial and success. So affirm your power. Affirm your power. And the last thing that Nipsey Hussle had tweeted was, having strong enemies is a blessing. Like, it really is a blessing, because your enemies, y'all who go against other black people and all that stuff, that is prompting them, and that's fueling, like that's putting fuel to the fire. That's making it bigger and making it grow. Like when people would tell me, and I got a video because the man, he had to eat his words. I had this man that told me that they weren't going to put a traffic light up, and he saw me at one stop the other day, and he was like, "Hey, come here, I owe you." And I let him have it. I was like, "Yeah, you got to eat them words. You told me they won't." Everybody, hey, everybody, he told me they won't putting up a traffic light. Look at that traffic light there flashing down there. Yes, I had to affirm my power. I had to affirm my power, and I had to show him, like, I'm gonna have to show you better than I can tell you. I got out there and I did the work, and I did the work by myself. Yeah, y'all signed a petition and all of that stuff or whatever, but I did that by myself. By myself. And there's even support that I do wish that I had from Gregory's family, but then I have to also respect that they were still mourning and going through things or whatever. And I had to be like, you know what? While I am expecting this, I have to understand that I took on this. I affirmed my power that the city of Norfolk needed a traffic light. I affirmed my power. And I just had a meeting last Thursday. I had came up with, shout out to Dr. Taylor, Dr. Erica Taylor. She was a professor at Norfolk State University. I don't even know where Dr. Taylor is now, but I know if I go on Twitter, because she believes in Twitter. I know if I go on Twitter, I could find her. But she had taught us this ROPES model. It's research, objectives, programming/initiatives, evaluations, and strategies. I created an entire ROPES model centered around the Broad Creek community. And yeah, Broad Creek community, but how it's able to grow and overflow into other communities, those impoverished communities, and how to make it better. And I'm going to tell y'all, even how Nipsey, I even felt like this. I was just like, dang, I'm standing up to do a traffic light, but I already know it's going to pull me into other things. People keep saying, oh, you need to run for this and you need to run for that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. But again, also Facebook memories also shows me like how political I have always been, how anything that I do see that's going on with the community or with the government, how I have always had something to say about it. And I was just like, and it really didn't register to me until I started seeing old posts. And I'm like, dang, I'm political as fuck. Even when I didn't want to be, even when I don't want to be, it's like, it's in there. It really is in there. And I talked about on my other, one of my other podcasts, about how community relations, how some of y'all will and can find your breakthrough through community relations, through where you live. I do find it that's weird. It's weird to me when you have neighbors that in the same community as you, your next door neighbors, and you don't speak to them and you don't know who they are and you don't know their name. I try to speak to all of my neighbors because I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened, because this is how some people feel. Say your car getting broken into. Say your house getting broken into. Because you don't speak to your neighbor, they probably won't even call the police or even go anything extra because you don't speak to them. Or you be looking at them crazy. I try this every day I leave my house, or whatever time I leave my house. Hey, y'all, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm always speaking to my neighbors. Always, because I want my neighbors to have my back. Some of y'all neighbors not going to have y'all back because y'all don't even talk to them or speak to them. And that's sick. That is so sick. How can y'all even live next door to each other and don't speak, or even at least know their name or know who they are? The only way y'all probably know who they are is if a piece of mail come to your house. And it might not even be them. But anyway, we have to do better as a Black community. If we... Community, unity. The word is in there, unity. We have to affirm your power and have unity within each other and within ourselves. And it's not, it don't matter if you gay, transgender, and all of that stuff. If we share the same Black color, like to share the same skin, we need to be caring about each other. We need to make sure that we're protecting each other at all times, at all costs. At all costs. And I say that because, again, when I started stepping up, I kind of got a little scared, and I was just like, because, again, I know this stuff is going to pull me more, and I'm not speaking anything because, like, I am going to live a very prosperous life. But if it's my time, it's my time. But I was just like, I hope don't nobody try to come after me and take me out for trying to put up a traffic light or trying to embark change within my community and all of that stuff. And I was even talking about how I need some protection. I need y'all to make sure that y'all looking out for me, because, again, it's what I am doing is going to lead to more things, because there are more things that I want to do within my community. And there are different ways that I have written down of how I want to give back to my community. But some people don't want to see people, Black people give back to their communities and build them up and all that stuff. So, again, keep me in y'all prayers, y'all, for real. Because I have, the model that I created. And lady was just like, oh, I want to show this to the city, the councilwoman and all of that stuff or whatever. And when I tell you I have programs and initiatives that as far as bridging the gap between the police and the community, y'all already know when people start talking about stuff like that, how it goes. But I ain't speaking nothing on my life or nothing. I'm speaking life. Because I'm affirming my power, and I pledge that I'm able, because we have to do this, y'all, because I have found this post. It's like when you speak stuff on your spirit can't decipher the difference. I'm weak or I'm dying. When you speak that, your spirit cannot decipher if it's a joke or not. So, again, we have to stop speaking things on ourselves. We have to stop speaking things on ourselves. That's why I try to make sure that I am cognizant of the things that I say. Like when people are laughing or something, like, oh, I'm dying, I don't even say that no more. I'm just like, no, I don't like, or I'm weak to death or something. I try not to say things like that, because, again, my spirit can't decipher that I am just joking or whatever. It just doesn't. It don't. So we have to, again, continue to speak life in all things, even when we are just joking, y'all. Like, we have to affirm our power at all times. We have to pledge, we have to declare that I am this and I am that, and I'm going to do this. And stop saying I'm trying. Either you are or you ain't. Are you doing or you're not? We have to affirm our power in all aspects of our lives, in everything that we do. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. We have to stop playing around with our own lives. Like, some of y'all are playing with your lives, like how they say dead man walking. Some of y'all are some dead people walking out here. because you're not affirming your power, because you're speaking and putting negative energy out to other people. You're speaking bad on other people. People speak bad on people, kids, dead, all type of stuff. Like, that's sick. We just gotta do better. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to do that too. I used to call people kids ugly and all of that stuff, but I can't do that no more because I don't want my kids to come out ugly and stuff. But we gotta affirm our power, y'all. Affirm your power. Affirm your power today by taking a stance in your own life and whatever it is that you declare and making a pledge to yourself. Even if you like, I remember when I used to go and feed a homeless. And I had made this post because I only know that people are making money off their used underwear. Like, there's some weird people out here. It's really some weird people out here. But when I had went out there to feed the homeless, this homeless lady had asked me, did I have some drawers and bras? And I'm like, drawers and bras, like, you need that? She was like, yeah, when you're displaced and you're homeless, there are certain things that you do not have and that you need. And some people was just like, you donate first of all, they're washed. Second of all, they're pink. And third of all, those drawers might make somebody feel good and get laid or something. Like, who know the power of the P? You know what I'm saying? The power of the P. But yes. So when I was going out there and feeding the homeless, because I'm just like, I would want somebody to feed me. And there were days that I didn't even feel like going out there, but I had to affirm my power and know that if I don't go out here, who else is going to go out here and feed those people? I affirmed my power when I started this podcast. I declared that I was going to come to y'all every Tuesday, although I was being a female last week, but I was just going through it and I just needed a little break. But hey, even TV and all of that stuff, they even have season breaks and all of that stuff. So I had to, talk to myself and say, allow yourself to just take this break. Allow yourself to get your thoughts and your mind together and go back to the drawing board and figure out what direction you want this to go. That's affirming my power, not me walking away and just quitting, because some of y'all quit on stuff. Some of y'all quit on everything. Some of y'all have not affirmed your power and dedicated and committed yourselves to anything. And that's why some of y'all live the way y'all do. But I can't talk about, because hell, I still live with my daggone grandma, because I haven't really affirmed to save money and get up. I'm like, I'll be all right. But no, I can't be like that, because I said I'm not moving out till either I get out of debt or I get married. But I'm just like, girl, you about to be 30. You ain't trying to still be staying at home with your grandma. But that's okay. And that's also another topic and conversation that we also need to have. People still living at home with their parents. We have all situations, but it's people in college, people got debt. There's a lot of things that's going on that, that some people can't, just can't afford to live on their own or whatever. I know I barely can afford to live on my own and all that stuff, but I'm about to move soon. But anyway, a lot of people have not committed themselves to anything, to nothing. Like, y'all can't even commit yourselves to, some of y'all can't commit yourselves to nothing. And that's not affirming your power. That's when you can't commit to something. Like, some people can't even commit to relationships, but they want to love and they want to get married and have this. But you're not even affirming your power as a person to say, you know what? I'm not gonna treat men like this, or I'm not gonna treat women like this. I'm affirming my power as a human being to be a stand-up person, to be a committed person. Affirm your power. Who are you? When you affirm your power, you figure out who you are, because now you have things to prove to yourself. The betterment of yourself. The betterment of yourself and the betterment of things around you is affirming your power. Once you affirm your power within yourself and who you are and what it is that you are doing, not trying to do, but what you are doing, you're able to allow that to overflow and to pour in other people, into other things, into building yourself, into building your brand, to building your business, to buying up your block. Okay? So today, say it with me. Repeat after me. Today, wherever you are, I am affirming my power by declaring that whatever it is that I say that I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. I am going to commit myself to do the very things that I say that I'm going to do. I am no longer going to procrastinate. I am no longer going to judge. I am going to show support. I am going to show more emotional support to those who need it. Because again, affirm means to offer someone emotional support or encouragement. I am going to be more encouraging. I am going to complete the things and do the things that I said that I am going to do. I am going to finish something. Is a lot of things that y'all have said that y'all are going to do by, it's March. Pulse check. How those resolutions coming along? Did you lose those 10 pounds? Did you lose that 20 pounds? Did you start your diet? Affirm your power by committing to yourself. Commit. Pledge, declare that today, right now, that who you were in the past, who you were 5 seconds ago, that you are no longer going to be that person. Okay? Affirm your power. Affirm your power, the power that's within you. You are power, so affirm your power. Leave all that negative emotional stuff alone. Stop being so emotional. Be emotional intelligent. I have a podcast that talk about emotional intelligence. Listen to it. Listen to it. Affirm your power. I affirmed my power. I believe I started affirming my power in 2014. After I was like, I ain't gonna be crazy no more. I ain't letting these niggas take me out my element. I ain't busting no more windows out the car. I ain't doing that no more. I affirmed that I didn't want to be crazy no more. Because the stuff that was crazy shit that I was doing. Going over people's house, busting windows and peeing on people's porches and all. That was crazy stuff. I ain't doing that no more. I am not doing that no more because I am affirming and walking into my power. Nobody, nothing, social media stuff, the death of somebody who you think is homophobic, that's not about to get me out of my element. I'm not about to wish anything negative on anybody. Walk in your power. When you are not affirming your power, you are powerless. You are powerless. You have no power when you are not affirming your power. So walk in your power and affirm your power today. Okay? That's all I got for y'all. I'm going to be back. I'll be back next Monday. The audio will be available tomorrow. Make sure you all are following me on Instagram. Follow at This Is For My Ladies podcast. Follow Tisha the Diva Facebook page. Like it. Yeah, I need to. Tomorrow, I'm starting my social media detox. I am affirming my power that tomorrow I am starting my social media detox. But I am starting my social media detox as far as on my personal page. But from here on out, it will just be building up. This is for my ladies. How can I make it better? How can I make it greater? How can I reach more people? How can I reach more ears? How can I get more listeners? How can I get more people, award-winning Oscar people like y'all saw Zeus? How can I get more people at this table and any other table? Because again, it's going to grow, and I am soon I will be doing events. This is for my ladies, events and all that stuff. So stay tuned to all of that. all of that. And it's not that I'm trying. I am affirming my power, and I am declaring and pledging that it is coming. Last year, I had wrote that I wanted to do more speaking engagements. I have had 3 this year. And I have another one coming up on April 7th at Culture Lounge. It is Girl Talks and Martinis. It is a free event. So come out and see me. Come out and see all the boss women, all the women that are affirming their power, who will be there, who are coming to talk to women about things, how we feel and things that we go through, and taking and care of our black men. But the same way how we have to make sure that we take care of our black men take care of us too. Okay? Because we need y'all. Just as much as we need y'all, y'all need us too. So affirm your power by standing up and declaring your love and your adoration for the black woman. Affirm your power by standing up and saying that I love my brothers. Yeah, y'all niggas do some dumb shit, but I still love you. We have to change the narrative of a lot of conversations and a lot of topics. But when you affirm your power and you declare and you promise, because that's another synonym for affirm, is you promise. Promise that you are going to walk in your power and be a better person today. Affirm that you are going to be more compassionate. Affirm that you're going to be more giving. Affirm that you're going to be more loving. Declare, pledge, promise. Make that to yourself, not to nobody else, but to you, okay? And that's all I got. This is for my ladies. Every Tuesday, catch me at Desire Dance. Viz is coming through with the video. So I'm about to go make sure I go to the gym and stretch and all this stuff. I've been working on tilts in the shower, y'all. And I don't know if y'all know what a tilt is, but it's like when you stand up on that one leg and you bring that other leg up and it touch your ear and stuff. Like, you know, that's how I'm trying to get my tilts right and stuff. So, yeah. Come out, ladies. 18 and up. Desire Dance. 176 South Rosemont Road. $10 cash. 8:15 is when you check in, and 8:30 is when you dance, okay? All right, because you're going to be chassé with Jessica, all right? But anyway, make sure you all subscribe, like, comment, leave a review. Even if you disagree with anything that I said in here, affirm your power and keep it to yourself, right? But seriously, let's talk about it. Let's get these conversations going. Let's talk about those Oh, y'all, check out this podcast. Shout out to Jackie Glass of Your Neighbor's Hood podcast. When I tell y'all that is a whole dialect and conversation between those awkward conversations between blacks and whites, when I tell you, listen to it, I definitely stand by and support that podcast, as well as the Locker Room podcast and all the podcasts that Viz Inc. do create right here at this table. But Millie rocking on the vibe, Rick. But anyway, y'all, this is Tisha the Diva. This is for my ladies. And I am out. Right? Okay.